Welcome to the world of scale modeling with Mike Ashe, where techniques, tips, and creativity come alive with dozens of tutorials, projects, tape-up reviews, and picture references to help you build better scale models and enjoy our wonderful hobby.
Hey everybody, over the past few months I've got a lot of requests from people wanting to know how I do my airbrushing and how my airbrushing is set up. So we'll start here and then I'll move over to my new workstation and I'll give you a tour of that too. I use a CO2 canister here instead of a compressor. I took a quantum leap forward in being able to airbrush when I purchased one of these. I can actually regulate the PSI pressure from 5 PSI all the way to 75 PSI. So on the right side are all my airbrush supplies, on the left side are all my cleanup supplies. And the other thing is you need to be able to ventilate the vapors and the paint particles, otherwise they'll settle back on your model and ruin your finish. So what I did was I bought a Braun oven overhead ventilator, attached it to the wall, and then I ventilated outside. And when I need to airbrush, I just open the window and set the wood panel in place. And I forgot to mention, that was Tiberius that was in the picture. And a lot of times he'll come down here and just kind of hang out with me. Come here, Ty. Say hello to everybody. Turn around, say hello to everybody. He's mostly phonogenic, but tonight he's being hard-headed. So the other thing is you want to have good lighting, which I have with these 3 lights here. And then all my airbrush supplies are properly organized, and I also have all my pastel weathering equipment over here. So what we'll do is we'll move the video camera in closer and I'll show you exactly how I have my airbrush supplies set up and what everything is for. Everything is within easy reach, and I'm right-handed, so when I airbrush, it's very easy for me as I'm sitting down to just pick up the airbrush, turn it on, and away I go. So we'll go ahead and do some close-ups, and then we'll move over to the workstation. So stay tuned, we'll be back with you in just a minute.
The exhaust ventilator is 40 inches long. The tabletop that I work from is 6 feet long, and the sides are made from foam board. The adjustable lamps that I use are excellent for airbrushing, and I highly recommend that you get a set. The open jars have various shapes and sizes of Q-tips that I use for cleaning the airbrush. Pipe cleaners are also a must for cleaning the airbrush as well as the jar tubes. The closed jars have different types of thinner, and I also have jars that are specifically designated for paint mixing. And on the extreme right are my container of copper BBs. I always drop a few of these into new paint to get it thoroughly mixed before I start thinning it for airbrushing. On the left side is a coffee cup warmer that I use to warm the paint before I use it. I also always wear a respirator when I'm airbrushing. I also always keep Q-tips and tissues on hand for cleanup, and I also keep my thinners on the left-hand side. Pickle jars make excellent containers for different types of thinners, and I use a plastic dish to soak my airbrush parts in thinner so they're thoroughly cleaned after every use. The CO2 tank is about the size of a scuba tank, and the air from a CO2 container is very dry and you never have to worry about moisture buildup. This tanker usually lasts me 2 years before I need to get it recharged. The right dial tells me how much air I have left in my tank, and the left dial is the air pressure that comes out to the airbrush, and it allows me to adjust it from very small amounts to very high volumes. I like to replace the inner seals on my airbrush jars with thin automotive gasket material. I also replace the inner seals whenever I clean the jars of excess paint after I'm done building a model, because sometimes paint gets between the seal and the cap. I like to label all of my organizational drawers so I'm not searching for stuff whenever I need it.
Hey everybody, I've moved over to the workbench. I'm going to just give a general explanation of how I have it set up, and then I got a bunch of still photography that I'll go through with a bunch of close-ups and give you a better explanation. But my able-bodied assistant, Tiberius, who's about falling asleep because he's got a full stomach, is right here with me. So he'll correct me if I say anything wrong. Behind me is my old written library for reference, and over the years I've collected a lot of old books. Everybody's gone digital, and so have I. So I have a computer under here, a large monitor for showing all my reference videos from all of the air museums we visited. All my tools are on the right, paints are directly to the back. I have really good lighting with 4 lamps. I have a special hookup here for my video camera when I'm shooting video. All my microfiles and my micro drill bits and my detail brushes are here. And then I have all of my supplies are in proper bins and everything is marked so I can grab it when I need to without having to search for stuff. And I also have a really good supply of evergreen strip stock, which comes in handy. And then underneath, I have more supplies. So again, we're going to do a bunch of close-ups, and then I'll move over to the staging table and I'll show you what I'm working on. So stay tuned.
My work table is 8 feet long, and this allows me to stage a lot of the tools that I use on a daily basis for model building. My work surface is a bit messy because I'm wrapping up a project now, but you can see how everything is laid out for easy access. All my reference material is easily accessible, and if I need to access computer files, all I need to do is turn on the machine and start viewing. The larger monitor is for accessing computer files, and the smaller one is for my video camera when I'm documenting my work. I like to use these large adjustable desk lamps because they allow me to position the light at any angle so that I can illuminate whatever I'm working on. I always keep a small supply of paints on hand, and I also use different types of glues. This setup allows me access to any size drill bit, my microfiles, or my detail brushes. Here again, I like to label all of my supply drawers so that I can get to things without having to search for them. I like to keep a good supply of evergreen and plastruck, different shapes and sizes for all of my scale modeling needs. And you can never have enough storage bins for all of your scale modeling supplies. Today's scale models require good parts management, and I like to use these plastic bins in order to separate, organize, and manage the multitude of parts that you usually get with newer kits. I also have 2 staging tables. The first one I use for my project work and as a photography table. Here I'm almost done with all the prep work that I wanted to do with this Renoir 1:200 scale submarine. And I should have it done in a month or 2, and then I'll be posting a series of YouTube videos on how I built this great kit. This is the brand new Verifier 1:350th scale USS Atlanta, and I'm doing all of the prep work necessary to do a tape-up, which I should have posted in the next week. This is my second staging table, and I usually stage all of my audio and camera equipment here for quick access.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the workshop and specifically of my airbrush station. And Tiberius and I wish you a great evening and happy scale modeling.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. And when you get the chance, visit our website at www.mikeashley.com, where you're going to find dozens of free PDF downloads, including tutorials, picture references, model galleries, projects, and my 5 original scale modeling books. Thanks to Ben Sound and Videvo for the royalty-free music, and happy scale modeling!